What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about league settings, XP sliders, gameplay sliders, all of the wear and tear and auto subs, all of the settings that can make your dynasty fun, and what I think is a good starting point to where you can have fun in your dynasty and probably even tweak things to your liking even more. So, we are in year 6 of my dynasty, and I didn't want to put out a slider video until I got significant playing time in my dynasty. I didn't want to be one of those YouTubers to be like, in the first week or in the first 2 weeks, oh, best sliders in YouTube for dynasty and blah 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 and this and that. I wanted to play a long time and get really comfortable with the game before I said, okay, I like these sliders, I like these wear and tear sliders, I think these are perfect. And also, I started out as a team builder, and we started out as a 54 overall, so I knew my sliders. I had to give it time. I had to give it time. I had to upgrade the team, and I think we're at a point where I can put out a good slider set and say, hey, I think these sliders are good. Give them a try and see how it goes. So let's get into it. League settings. We are on Heisman. We are on Heisman difficulty, and I think that Heisman is really fun this year. It's really fun, especially with the sliders that I have. It's really fun. Now, I do manual progression for my players in the off season, and normally this is set at 25. I have this at 40 because normally at 25 you still get a lot of skill points for your players. So I have it at 40. Quarter length, I have it at 13 minutes, and minimal play clock time, I have it on 20. I have it on 13 and 20 because with this you get realistic game stats, and you pretty much keep up with all of the other teams in the league. If I click on Fresno State here, look at this. Total plays, they have 65, we have 57. Total offense, 407, 310. First downs, 15, 21. This is pretty even and pretty nice. So yeah, you're not really playing for that long. Each game takes on average an hour. So if you don't mind playing an hour for each game, 13-minute quarters, 20-minute runoff for the play clock. All right, wear and tear. These are my sliders for wear and tear. For normal, I have 48. Catch tackle, I have 48. Hit stick, 52. Cut stick, 48. Defender tackle advantage, I have 48. Sack impact, 50. Block impact, 48. Impact, 50. Per play recovery, I have 60. Per timeout recovery, 65. And you can see I have 70, 75, 80. I have just going up. I have it going up by 5 in increments. Between quarters, 70. Halftime recovery, 75. Week to week, 80. In-game healing, pool reserve, 80. Now, I have all of this set for a reason, because if we go over to our team, and I'm going to talk a lot about this. I'm going to use the running backs a lot in these examples when I talk about wear and tear. But I have pretty much a 6 running back system. More of a 4. I use Mayo, Keon, Amari, and Moses pretty much this season. And we are 4 games in. And look at Moses' season wear and tear. Look at that. It has barely moved. Now, ignore Amari because I've had him for a long time, and we didn't have a lot of running backs in the beginning of this dynasty, so he got used a lot. But Keon, look at this. Barely any season wear and tear. Barely any season wear and tear. And if we go to rushing attempts, there's 50, there's 30, 35, and 35. I'm using my running backs a lot, but I'm using them in a way that no one's really getting overused at the same time. And we're going to talk more about that when we talk about the auto subs with the wear and tear. Max transfers per team, I have it at 15. User player transfer chance, I have it at 45. CPU player transfer chance, I have it at 48. And then I have auto regress players off. Now, let's move on to XP sliders. Like I mentioned before, it is very easy for players to get skill points. So I pretty much have everything down by 5. Just because it's too easy for players to upgrade, even if they're having a bad season. Let's go and see here. My quarterback, I threw over 20 interceptions with him last season. I know it's pretty rough, but I threw 22 interceptions with him last season, and he still got about 20 or so skill points. So that's why I have the XP sliders down by 1. Gameplay sliders. QB accuracy 38. This is a very, very sweet spot, because with this at 38, I still have perfect throws, I have overthrows, I have underthrows, I have low throws, I have high throws, I have everything. I have everything different. It's a combination of everything when it comes to throwing the ball. I get a little bit of everything every game. Pass blocking, I have it at 44. I barely take any sacks. Maybe I should take more, because maybe that would cut down on my interceptions. But pass blocking, 44. Receiver catching, 47. My receivers, they still drop a lot of passes. So you love to see that. Sometimes they'll drop wide open passes, but you're not going to see it a lot. So you still get a variation of, sometimes dropping wide open passes, or maybe he's going to catch it, but then he gets hit and then he drops it. Run blocking, I have it at 42. Now, I have run blocking at 42, and I've had it this low this entire time. And if we go to season stats, we go to rushing, we're doing pretty good. Run blocking at 42, we're still doing pretty good. We'll go over here to team stats, and so far in the season, we're 5th in rushing. Now, granted, we haven't played against the best teams. We played against Fresno State, and they're about 60-something overall. Washington State is not good. So 2 out of the 4 teams that we played against are not good. And you can't, when it comes to these sliders, you can't say, oh, these sliders are going to mean that I'm not going to be able to run the ball at all. No, you're going to be able to run the ball still against bad teams. But when it comes to good teams, it's going to be a struggle. And in the Fresno State game, it was still a struggle for us to run the ball. We didn't really have good runs until like maybe the 2nd and 3rd quarter on. So it's still a struggle to run the ball against bad teams. But you're going to have those moments where, like, bam, you're going to break it open for a big run. So 42 is really a good sweet spot. Ball security, I have it on 60. We still fumble sometimes, not a lot, but we still fumble. Pass defensive reaction time, I have 80. and pass coverage I have on 80. This really, I don't really know what to say about it having on 80. We still give up a lot of passing yards, and this can mean a lot of different things. It can mean what defensive play are you calling on like 3rd and long or 2nd and long? Are you playing man? Are you playing zone? Are you playing over top coverage? Are you playing underneath coverage? Are you shading inside, outside? Are you pressing? Are you playing off? So, you know, it just depends on what defensive play you're calling, how good your players are, and the type of team you're going up against. You know, you still could be giving up a lot of yards, or you can only be giving up 150 passing yards a game. So it just depends. Interceptions, I have it on 47, and we're still not getting a lot of interceptions this season. We're getting a few. We still drop a lot of interceptions. In 4 games, we only have 3. So 47 is a sweet spot for the user. And you guys are going to see me switch back and forth when I talk about and explain the sliders. I'm not just going to say, oh, tackling at 55, QB accuracy 23, and just move on. I'm going to tell you why I have it at these levels. Now, user tackling 55, you're still going to see your players miss a lot of tackles. That's why I have it at 55. But this is a sweet spot because if the CPU breaks a tackle, that's fine because we're going to have another player right there to make a tackle. So have it at 55 is a sweet spot for me. All right, CPU, QB accuracy 23. I have this all the way down at 23 because 1, we're on Heisman, and 2, the CPU can still complete a lot of passes. Now, if we go over to the teams we have played so far, let's look at the CPU accuracy. Like I said, Fresno State, they're not a good team, but their quarterbacks, 70 completion percentage. Right here, not going to look at him because he went 7 for 10, but 21 for 30, 70 completion percentage. He's an 86 overall quarterback, so he's not bad. Florida, they're a way better team. 16 for 21, 76 percentage. Let's go to Washington State. We go over here. He's different, 62 completion percentage. And then we go to Arizona State, 64. So, like I said, it depends on the team, how good the quarterback is, what defense you're calling. That is going to determine, you know, whether the CPU quarterback is being hurried when he makes these throws, and, you know, if the receivers are wide open. But you're still going to see the CPU overthrow receivers, underthrow all the time. The CPU is going to miss a lot of passes. But how good is your team? And how good is the team that you're playing against is going to determine whether the CPU quarterback is missing a lot of throws or being hurried. Pass blocking, I have it at 57. And my team gets about maybe 2 or 3 sacks a game, which the CPU pass blocking at 57. We're going to go over, like I said, we played 4 games this season. And we have about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. We have 13 sacks. And that may seem like a lot, but again, we played against 2 of the other teams we played against are really bad. And sometimes I do blitz a lot when I feel like they're about to pass the ball. But look at that. We're not even I mean, we're in the top half, but still, we're not even in first place when it comes to sacks. And a lot of teams have not played a lot of games yet. So let's go back. And receiver catching, 47. They're going to drop some passes at 47. They're not going to catch everything, especially the bad teams. With these sliders, you're going to notice that, like, receiver catching, QB accuracy, like the bad quarterbacks, you're gonna notice the difference. The bad receivers and tight ends, you're gonna notice the difference. Run blocking, I have it at 70. I had to move this up from 60 to 70 because last year we were number 1 in the nation and defensive rushing. So I had to turn this up to 70, and it's a lot better now. Teams are getting like over 150 yards rushing against us every now and then. At least the good teams are. So I had to turn that up to 70. Ball security, 60. You're still going to see them fumble, quarterbacks and running backs, so they still fumble. Pass defensive reaction time, 70 and 70. This is, like I said, it depends on what team you're going against and how good your quarterback and receivers are to get open. I throw a lot of interceptions. I throw a lot. But I like this at 70 because you get a variation. Sometimes my receivers are open. Sometimes they're being blanketed. Just depends. Interceptions, I have it all the way down at 20. The CPU is so aggressive when it comes to interceptions. So aggressive. They will undercut your receivers all the time if you're not careful. So, and you may even want to put this at 15. It just depends. Tackling, they have theirs at 55 also. They're going to miss tackles too. So I have it at 55. Field goal power, field goal accuracy, I have it all the way down at 43. There are so many kickers in this game that make like 50 plus yard field goals with ease. So I had to turn this down at 43. Punt power, 65. Punt accuracy, kickoff power, have it at 30. Injuries, I have this at 30. You're going to see a lot of injuries in game. That has to do with one, probably wear and tear. But having this at 30, you're going to see a lot of players being injured in game. But they're going to come back. So it's not like they're going to get injured and be out for like the entire season. But you will see injuries in the game. Fatigue, I have it at 53. Don't really see fatigue still being an issue because of the substitutions that I made. And we'll talk about that more with the auto subs. Minimum player speed threshold, 25. Precipitation scale, I just moved these up to 52. I had to move this down to 48 because it was insane at 52, even at 50. It was insane. And movement, I have it at 53. Now, we don't play, because I have a team builder team, we don't play it in a lot of rain or snow games. Mainly, if we're playing away, then we'll probably see that. But being that we're in California, there's not any snow games, and we don't see many rain games. Now, penalties, offsides and false starts. Yes, I have both of these at 95. You're going to see these in the game at 95. If you fake hut, you're going to see the defender jump off sides. Not all the time, but you will see it. False start. If you are away in a hostile environment and you're trying to make audibles, your offensive linemen are going to false start. They're gonna move. Holding, I have it at 63. I finally found a sweet spot at 63. You will see holding, not a lot, but enough. And holding is good to have in the game because they're going to stall drives and they're going to make the game. They're going to stall drives and make the stats more realistic. So having holding at 63 is a sweet spot. Face mask 75. Excuse me. Face mask 75. You still don't see any face mask penalties. I still don't see any. So we might even move this up to 80 just to see. But we might even move it to 76 or 77 because you don't want to move it up too far and you see it called way too much. Defensive pass interference 99. I still see some, but not a lot. I'll maybe see one a game, but sometimes they have to be egregious and sometimes they don't. It just depends. Illegal block in the back, I have it at 51. And I may move this back at 50 because I think in one of the games that I played, I seen it called like 3 times against the CPU and maybe even 4. So even at 51, I think they may call this too much. Roughing the passer, I did have this at 51, but holy cow, do they ever call this thing a lot at 51? They call roughing the passer so much at 51. Like, I would throw the ball and the defender would graze my ear or just graze my excuse me. They would graze my shoulder and roughing the passer would get called. The guy would like blow in my ear and they would call it. So I had to turn this back down at 50. Roughing the kicker, running into the kicker, had to turn that off. And intentional grounding, off. Now, let's go over to auto subs. This is where all the nitty gritty when it comes to wear and tear and substitutions happen. Halfback for the fatigue 87-90. Now, you're not gonna see your players get subbed out a lot when it comes to fatigue. It's more of the wear and tear that we're focused on here. And I have this at 87 and 90 because the moment a player starts to have wear and tear, they get subbed out. But sometimes even before that happens, I'm in the menu subbing them out because, like, let's take, for example, let me give you guys an example. With my running backs, how I use and substitute them out for wear and tear is let me go to the roster here. So, for example, my starting running back is Jabari Mayo. If I'm going to run the ball with him, I'm going to run it 2 times. And the second time, okay, so I run the ball once, and I know I'm going to run the ball the second time. So before I even snap the ball, I'm in the menu subbing him out and putting in the second string running back. So he's already ran the ball twice on that one drive. My second string running back is already in. And maybe I want to run the ball twice with him. So by that second time, he's already being subbed out, and my third string running back is in the game. So I'm using all 3 running backs probably in the same drive because once they get that second carry, I'm subbing them out. So that's how I use my running backs. And Same thing with receiver, 8790, 8790. So with this, you're barely going to see any wear and tear show up. You might see it, but they're going to recover, because either they're going to get taken out for a play, or they're going to recover because you're not going to be throwing them the ball. Tight end, not really worried about with the wear and tear. Offensive line, I have the same, 8790, 8790. And yeah, you might still see wear and tear for your offensive line, but you know, you can just sub them out if you see it. Defensive end, linebackers, and a little bit of cornerbacks, 8790, 8790. Keeping everybody fresh. You're not going to see any wear and tear concerns with your ends, your linebackers, none of that. Or your corners, maybe your safety, but you're still not going to have any concerns when it comes to that, because they're going to be subbed in and out. They're going to be kept fresh, and you're good. The only concern, like I said, that you may have, but I run the ball a lot, so that's why I'm always subbing my running backs in and out. Like I said, once they get that second carry, I've already subbed in my backup running back, or my third string running back. Like, I'm keeping them fresh at all times. So that is auto subs. That is the settings, sliders, gameplay sliders. Yeah, that is everything that I use for my sliders and my Dynasty. And like I said, we get really good stats. This Florida game, 24-17. Really even game. Really even game. If we go down here, time of possession, we had the ball a lot. 32 minutes to 19 minutes. Why? Florida runs a no huddle. And we ran the ball 43 times. This year, I'm focusing on the run. We ran the ball 43 times. Now, I think Arizona State is not, and maybe they are a no huddle team. I can't remember. But if you run the ball a lot, it's gonna show. But total plays 65-57. Time of possession 25-26. Now, Fresno State is a team that does not run any no huddle, but they had the ball just as much as we did. So these settings that I have is really nice. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, any concerns, put them down in the comment section. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.